Did you know that we have one amazing point, fascia point, that could be aging your face? And by doing fascia technique work, this one point, we can really lift the face up and really help release any tight tension within the lower part of the face. This will also help, particularly if you have migraines as well and maybe gets heady. And the muscle we're working on today is obviously the masseter muscle. So first things first, you want to start off with clean skin. And as always, I'm using a little bit of my Alison Jane Grip and Glide signature oil, just so we've got, again, grip and glide, or even a little bit of a slip, so we're not compromising the skin by dragging or pulling. And of course, whatever you apply to your skin is also going to penetrate in better and deeper as well. So just applying all along the lower part of the face, under the jawline, and then just in front and behind the ears and either side of the neck down to the collarbone. So taking the pads of the fingers where our collarbone is, we want to really open up the lymphatic gateways first. So just above the collarbone, we've got some indentations. And if you can just give those a few gentle presses. A great starting point. So we're going to work one masseter muscle at a time. So let's work on this side first. So if we just take one hand here and just place it just above the cheekbone area, take the other finger as a hook, and you just want to very gently breathe in. And as you breathe out, melt the finger into the skin. And we're just getting ready for a fascia decompression. Now the fascia is a connective tissue, a bit like a spider's web throughout the whole of the body. And if this gets tight, it can pull things forward, get to that fascia patterning. But it can also be a bit like what I would call fascia glue and can stick to the bone as well. And if this sticks to the bone, you end up with less nutrients and space and oxygen. It almost acts like a dam, if you like. So by releasing the fascia, we're actually creating space for more oxygen, nutrients and detoxification. So then once we've melted in, very, very slowly with a firm pressure, work along that masseter muscle, working down, and we're using the fingers still as an anchor so we're not dragging or pulling at the skin. And you may find this may be a little bit painful. You can always ease off with the pressure. Now I like to do these 3 or 4 times a week. And if you can look in a mirror as well, it's actually quite useful and handy. Now I also like to do this in a seated position. You can do this standing up, but just making sure that your feet are nice and in alignment and that your back is nice and straight, that you're not hunched over. If you're pulling forward too much, you're shortening the neck, and so you're not ending up with so much nutrients and oxygen. So nice and in alignment. Working very, very slow towards that jawline area. And then all the way to the jawline. And when you get to the jawline, if you just give it a little wiggle, just to really help with lymphatic drainage. So let's work on the other side now. So placing our hand just above that cheekbone area, taking the finger as a hook, gently placing and holding. Breathing in and then breathing out. You can breathe out through the nose or the mouth, whatever's easiest for you. And just melt into the skin. Breathing in again. And breathing out and slowly work our way down. And again, you can ease off. You also want to make sure that your face is nice and relaxed again. Now, I've been a qualified facialist for the last 6 years, and I'm really passionate. Actually, it's 8 actually, and I'm really passionate about skincare and really want to help you on your skincare journey. So please comment down below and tell me if there's any other fascia techniques you'd love me to share with you. We're working all the way along, again, using the finger as an anchor, unsticking any tight fascia from the bone area. Relaxing the face, and then again, once we get to that jawline, you just want to go a little wiggle at the end with the finger. So let's just take our fingers now, just give a real massage here, nice and light. Really works the masseter muscle, particularly, so I sometimes clench my teeth at night time. And also sometimes if we're sleeping to the side, you're moving the jaw, and of course then you end out of alignment as well. And that can end up with TMJ as well. And that could also cause headaches, migraines. So by releasing this amazing fascia point with the masseter muscle, it can really help lift up the skin, but also improve migraines, headaches. So really releasing this with a nice massage here. And then just taking the fingers here, let's just lift upwards towards the cheekbone area and gliding all along the jawline, heading towards the ears from that masseter muscle. And this is a feather light touch. And what we're doing here is also we're moving toxins and waste within the lymph, which is also very close to the surface of the skin. And because we've done our 1-point fascia technique, we've allowed for more space, so we'll be able to detoxify easier. And then in front of the ears, if you just glide down where we have plenty of lymph nodes, and then behind the ears where we have plenty of lymph nodes as well. Always want to swallow when I'm doing this. You always can feel things moving along. And let's just take the fingers and just massage all along the occipital bone. So basically bottom of the head, top of the neck. Again, we hold a lot of tension in the neck, so if you can really release this, this really does help. Also calming down the nervous system. And then when the fingers are touching with one hand at a time, if you can glide down that big SCR muscle down to the collarbone. And then on the other side. And then from the chin all the way down where our collarbone is just above, we've got some indentations. Again, our starting point is going to be our finishing point. So taking the pads of the fingers, if you can just give those a few gentle presses, this will release all the toxins and waste that move within the lower part of the face into the body, ready for elimination. Now, I always recommend a glass of lukewarm water to hydrate the fascia, but also to help with detoxification after doing any fascia work. So now please consider subscribing, liking and sharing. I also, by the way, have Substack as well. So if you like more of a bloggy content where I go a bit more deeper in articles and in notes, please check that out as well. It's in my description box down below. And I really look forward to seeing you in the next video. Okay, bye.